Seth, what is Plan YC and what are the initiatives for the city in terms of green?
Traditionally, mayors in New York and around the world have looked at what they can achieve in the next year or 2 years or maybe in a term of office. A few years ago, the mayor realized that the challenges confronting, as well as the opportunities confronting New York, were really long-term challenges and opportunities and required long-term planning. Plan YC was an attempt by the city to address those long-term challenges and to make sure that we're prepared, not just for what's going to happen next year or 5 years from now, but what's going to happen 20 or 30 years from now. So it's investing in infrastructure, it's reducing our carbon footprint, it's making us a more efficient and more livable city.
There's more than 30 initiatives, I think, within that. What are some of the plans to attract businesses and to help further that idea?
Well, the 30 initiatives that you're referring to are actually building on Plan YC. Plan YC was announced a couple of years ago by the mayor. After that, one of the things that we at the Economic Development Corporation were charged with was figuring out what are New York's opportunities in the green economy. And you hear a lot of politicians talking about growing green jobs, but if you ask them what does that mean, many of them can't tell you what exactly a green job looks like. So we took the time and we asked ourselves, what are the green opportunities? Where does New York have competitive advantages? And what can we do to build on those competitive advantages? And what we found is that there are several areas where New York has strength. One is obviously in areas like recycling and waste management. And we have a very ambitious program that's designed to capitalize on that. Another area is in green finance. As the laws change with respect to things like carbon trading, we think that New York, as the world's financial capital, has a huge opportunity to grow that sector. And then the final area is really in creating demand for green services, both in the area of energy efficiency and in the area of renewable energy, and ensuring that we have a workforce that's trained to take advantage of that demand. And so our 30 initiatives that you're referring to are meant to strengthen us in each of those areas.
You talked a bit about the carbon trading. Do you have a program set in place to maybe take displaced financial workers and put them through a program to be able to do that?
We do. We have a program that we call Jumpstart that we've run in a number of different industry sectors, green finance being one of them, where we take people who have been laid off from large corporations, we put them through a 10-day boot camp where they learn what it takes to work in a small startup company, and then we match them in non-paying internships at small startup companies. What we've found in our experience so far is that over 50% of the people who have been through this program have ended up, after their non-paying internships, having paying relationships with these companies. We think it's great for the companies because they get all of this advice and experience that these people bring, and also great for the individuals because it helps them either to develop paying relationships with new employers or to learn what it takes to start up businesses of their own.
Of course. Now, does the city have any solar initiatives?
We do. We have a wide range of solar initiatives. What we've found the biggest problem with alternative energy is that people don't understand what the benefits of installing these alternative energy systems in their homes or businesses are. It's also very difficult to navigate the existing regulations because they were put in place long before this technology existed. So we've launched a number of very specific programs that are designed to prove the viability of these technologies. For example, in the area of solar, we are offering a series of subsidies to people who are putting solar thermal systems into their homes to heat their hot water.
Now, is this just for the average household or is this corporation?
It will be for both. It will be for individual users as well as larger users. And what we're going to do is collect data from this pilot program and then publicize to the broader population the economic benefits of the installations that have taken place. Similarly, we're setting up what we call solar districts, working with the federal government as well as with Con Ed to make it easier to install solar energy systems and plug them into the grid within those regions. And our hope is eventually to be able to expand those across the city. Absolutely.
You also have a program called the Nimble Bond Program. What is that and how does that further green, or any initiative for that matter?
Well, the Nimble Bond Program takes advantage of what at first seemed to be a very obscure change in the tax code. Traditionally, businesses couldn't finance themselves in a tax-exempt basis, which is much less expensive than financing on a taxable basis. unless they were manufacturers of tangible goods. That would be things like widgets. What the tax code changed to was it said that you could finance yourself on a tax-exempt basis if you were producing intangible goods as well, things like software and intellectual property. So what we're looking to do is take advantage of that change. We're lowering the fees that we charge businesses to borrow on a tax-exempt basis and making financing available to small startup businesses that are in these high growth areas like green, like software, like new media. And we think that this is an enormous opportunity that businesses in the city absolutely should take advantage of.
Are they taking advantage? That was my next
We
question.
just issued, which I believe is the first issuance in the entire country of a bond using this change for a small startup company that had been founded literally in somebody's garage and is now expanding in Midtown. And we're hopeful to roll out tens of millions of dollars more in lending over the course of the coming year.
That's great. Now, New York compared to other cities in the United States, how do we fare in terms of being green?
Well,
Obviously, Los Angeles has all the cars, so we probably are a little bit ahead of them. But San Francisco, Atlanta, Miami, I don't know the initiatives out there. But how do we fare against or across the country?
certainly as a consumer of energy, New York is one of the most efficient places on the planet. The statistic I heard, which I'm not sure if it's exactly right or not, is that the average New Yorker consumes the same level of carbon as the average American did in the 1920s. So we're among the most efficient users of energy in the world. In addition to that, through Plan YC, through the green initiatives that we've launched, we think that we're on the cutting edge of changing the way that we do business. And we would put our record up against any city anywhere in the world. And in fact, if you talk to energy efficiency officials in other countries, they come to New York constantly to see what we're doing and to build upon the experience that we've developed here.
Great. Thanks, Seth.
Thank you.